Hi, Aries, and welcome to December 2021. Ooh, the heart of Sag season, such a beautiful time for fire signs. And also the end of 2021, which is, it has been such a year. The more I look back on everything that has transpired in 2021, in some ways, I feel like this was an even more poignant and powerful and deep year than 2020. It asked us to dig deep, dig all the way down to the bottom of the well and see what we are really made of and see how we continue to treat ourselves. And so I know that for me coming into these readings, I just think about how much I've grown and changed, even just this year, but also over the last 5 years since I began this journey here with us, and how much I value different things now about this space that we create here and about how I show up in the world. And that's actually what I wanted to get into. So December for you, Aries, December is a pretty powerful closeout month. We will have our second eclipse of eclipse season on December 4th. We will have Venus in Capricorn doing her retrograde work starting on the 19th. We will have Chiron, who has been in your sign for quite a while, going direct in your sign. Let's see, on the 19th, we have the solstice and we have Jupiter moving into Pisces. So a lot of things are shifting here. A lot of things are changing dynamics, and we're starting to work with a new set of questions, a new way of moving through the world. And I wanted to get into this because Venus retro, so first of all, we have Chiron going direct. So whatever you've been learning over the last 5-6 months about yourself and your healing journey, you may find that you are understanding that more deeply here this month and kind of getting a chance to wrap that up. And also we have Venus going retrograde in a fellow cardinal sign. And this cardinal sign of Capricorn is about your performance in the world, how you show up in the world, how you exude energy out into the world. And this really got me thinking about this because, I talk a lot about just being true to yourself, being whole in yourself, not feeling like you need to perform for others or please others or do things in a certain way, right? And that we can put down the performances, we can put down the costumes. We don't have to carry that all around with us, right? And I think that's valuable. Yes, it's valuable to just be more of ourselves and less trying to run around keeping all the balls in the air. And I always think of Aries, because you're such great initiators, you have high energy, you're ready to get in there and make things happen. So one of the things I love about you, it's a beautiful energy, but I also think sometimes you feel the pressure of having to perform that role of the initiator, of the fire starter, of the warrior on the front line, and that can be really exhausting. And what it got me thinking about, this Venus retrograde for Aries, in some ways is going to be about creating the performance that you really want. Because yes, it's good to be authentic with ourselves. It's good to be able to take the costumes off. However, a truly soulful performance in our lives, right? Like getting up on stage and dancing or singing or acting is really beautiful, right? It gives us life. It gives us warmth. And I think there's such a thing as having a version of that performance that we have when we're in a group of people, when we're out in the world, that can actually be really authentic and powerful. And I was thinking about how this season, this Venus retrograde season, this season of shifting, closing out 2021, beginning 2022 is such a great time to play with what you want that meaningful social performance to be. Because I think there's such a thing. I think there's such a thing as being really conscious of, this is how I want to show up in my dynamics. And it doesn't mean it's fake. It doesn't mean that you're putting on a great show. It's a really deep question. It's one I've been thinking about a lot because there is fun and joy in showing up and purposely turning up that light, right? And playing with it. Of course, it can't be the only way we function in life, but I think this is a really wonderful season to ask, how do I want to turn my light on and shine it in the world? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does it feel like for me to be really, really happy, feeling really true to myself and sharing that energy out with the world? Where, how does that connective tissue feel from the inside and the outside? 8 of Pentacles wanted to come out. Love that card. Because because there is going to be a different energy to 2022. And for me too, this is the other thing I wanted to say about Aries. We're going to have Neptune moving direct in Pisces. We're going to have Jupiter moving into Pisces. We're going to have a lot of energy working in your 12th house, the sign right before yours. And this is about really connecting with your soul, with the hidden world, with all of that, the connective threads of the universe. How do you want to connect that with that fire starter self that's moving through the world? And Knight of Swords. Okay. And I wanted to pull a third card from my Oracle of the Hidden Worlds deck because I just love this deck. I think it's so beautiful. It kind of changes up the vibe a little bit. Let's see what wants to come. Oh, The Gathering. Keywords there are community, kinship, and companionship. It's all about how you want to turn that lantern on in those gatherings, in those moments when you are expressing your soul out to the world, and how potent it would be to feel fully yourself, not like you're wearing a costume, but also like you are doing a beautiful performance, one that means something to you. I hope that's coming across the way I'm talking about this. So there's a decisiveness in December's energy in a way. There's kind of this deliberate choosing the way we want to move through the world, right? Do we deliberately choose to feel really stressed? Because it's Venus retrograde and it's eclipse season and it's the end of this year and I need to make sure that I'm prepared because I need 2022 to be a certain way, and what if it's not, and how am I going to do that? Or are we deliberately choosing, I'm going to create this. I'm going to create this beautiful piece of art, this beautiful conversation. I'm going to deepen this relationship. I'm going to show up. I'm going to self-parent. I am going to get curious about what happens when I just show up steadily and clearly in the ways that feel right for me, and be really deliberate about picking what those ways are. I'm also going to get honest and clear my throat chakra a little bit. I think the Knight of Swords is really interesting because, yes, this guy doesn't always have tact. He gets right in there. It's the bluntness of youth and just seeing what happens when you go full charge ahead, just gallop right into it and just let whatever out. And yes, it's always good to keep in mind, we don't have to express every single thing ever recorded. But what I love about Knight of Swords is it's a breakthrough energy. It's about coming to a really clear sentence that is deeply true. Right? That something that we know is right for us. Like for me, a sentence that is deeply, deeply true at this point as we go into December is, I want to do work that is honest and playful, and I am no longer interested in the drama, trauma, renditions of discussions. That's boring to me. That's so true for me. I could shout that from the rooftops over and over. Whatever those crystallized true things are for you, spend time with those. Think about what those things are. This isn't just about being stubborn or like stuck. It's about things like a healthy boundary we want to put up, or something that we feel really passionate and excited about, or something we really want to create. And it's not about what we think other people need to do, right? Because we can also have statements that we're trying to tell other people. This is about how we want to show up. How we want to show up, what we want to add to the conversation. What is crystallized true there? And that's really what these two cards are speaking to. Now, these two cards are really about showing up to our own workshop inside of ourselves and really crystallizing down what really matters to you as we close out 2021. Where do you really want to focus your energy? But we also have this oracle card that is the Gathering. Gorgeous card. And this is a card about community. This is a card about how we connect to others. And I really like that for Aries. So many of us, I think, have been reviewing what community is, what we want that to look like, what we want that to feel like, how we want to use our energy within that. And also, I think communities have been getting reshuffled. Friendships have changed, schedules have changed, projects have changed. And that's a mixed blessing, right? But I think the thing that I'm coming to with this is that maybe this is also going to be a time of revitalizing your sense of community, kinship, and companionship. This could be a really creative time for you to share your energy again and kind of practice into that and feel the warmth of community and love, and not to feel like you have to carry everything alone. But I think sometimes when we know what we really want to contribute to our lives, it makes it easier to be a part of a community. It makes it easier to connect with other people because we're no longer trying to perform and placate to all sorts of things and make all sorts of things happen. We're really focusing in on what we really can contribute, what we really want to contribute, what really gives us energy to contribute to. So I just really love the deliberate energy of December. And I really think it's so important. I'm going to repeat this over and over again, but I think it's so important that we really choose this month and on, that we really deliberately get clear, that we're going to choose loving, deliberate, clear, honest, self-parenting energy that lets us know it's okay to change. It's okay to have hard feelings. It's okay to struggle sometimes or be tired. It's also okay to be creative. It's also okay to change. It's also okay to flower into this next phase and to just get really deliberate. We don't need to get our feathers ruffled. We don't need to be in fear state. We don't need to be stressed about December or the end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022. There's nothing we need to be holding ourselves rigid about. Period. When it comes to the calendar changing and when it comes to astrological events, we don't need to be holding to the world together by getting stressed about any of it. That's not our job. And with that, I have a little blessing, a little moment that I just want to take and share with you here for our December as we close out 2021, and we will be back to open up 2022. And I'm really excited to be offering tons of support on Patreon. If you're interested in the details of Venus retrograde and Jupiter shifting to Pisces and all of that, I'm going to be doing a ton of really fun worksheets and tool sets and discussions on those things. But here's your blessing. As we close out this wild and vibrant year, may you feel a sense of warmth and curiosity blossom in your heart. May you give yourself rest when you need it and play when it feels right and the space to heal when necessary. May you find a rhythm that works for you. May you enjoy exploring who you get to be in this life and the fluidity of existing. There aren't strict rules about who you have to be. I think that's such a great way to approach December. Curiosity and openness are two of the states of being that are going to give us some of the best wisdom and the best ways of moving through this life. And I know Aries is on board with me with this because fire signs, we stick together. We know what's up. I'm a Leo sun, by the way. And we know about curiosity and play. So let's remember it and really bring it to life during the Sagittarius season and as we move into this powerful Capricorn season as well. I love you all so much. Have a gorgeous, gorgeous December. I will be right back here for more moon magics and also our readings to take us into 2022. I love you so much.